the last WWE Monday Night Raw of the pre-Thunderdome era here tonight on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Defying all expectations, Raw Underground was back for a third week in a row. We had some build-up for SummerSlam tonight. HBK is going to come out and talk in the main event. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen before the go-home. Will Randy Orton attack him? All this and more. Matt, what'd you think of tonight's show?
It's so funny. I think every wrestling fan in America thought the same thing that you just said with all three of those things. Although I am very interested to see what the Underground does ratings-wise. I'm interested to see if it's jumped shark yet. Because I don't know why I'm the only one who thinks it's... Okay, really quick. I applaud them for doing something different. We've got to start there. We get on them all the time for not being original, this or that. This is different.
Yes.
I just am one of those old school wrestling fans that say, well, why should this be more real than what the rest of the show I'm watching for 2.5 hours is make-believe? Is that make-believe? Their punches lesser than? Like, I'm confused.
Right. If Dolph can beat someone's ass like that, in the Underground, then why can't he do it in the ring?
It's a shoot, brother. They're being real. This part's real. This is really real, though. Yeah.
This is what real fake fighting looks like.
It's just being different enough. I mean, Cop Rock was different for a cop show, but it didn't necessarily mean that it was good.
Terrible analogy. Cop Rock, my dad would be proud. But like, what I was gonna say though is that one guy, Boomba Tamba, whatever his name is, for him, it's a great build. Whatever his name is, I don't forget his name. Baba Tande. For him,
he said different. Yeah.
Booba Tanda.
Was his name Daba Kato or something like that?
There you go. That's much easier to say. But seriously, for like someone like him, it does serve a point. I will give it that much because we've never seen him before. I just think it's a good monster building type of thing for what it's worth. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I honestly think this is probably going to be the lowest rated Raw in the show's history. I mean, seriously. Not only was it dull, and for a SummerSlam go-home show to be dull, that just sucks. SummerSlam's supposed to be your second or third biggest event of the year. Brother.
WrestleMania's go-homes were terrible in the last 2 years, I would argue. Like, there is no such thing as a go-home show anymore.
Yeah.
They're dead. They're dead.
I don't know why they didn't do the Ric Flair thing tonight, because that thing was so good.
Okay.
That was such a good closing angle for like a pay-per-view. The Shawn Michaels thing, I mean, I thought that sucked. And Shawn got up right after he got punted. He was like starting to get up.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to sell that thing like you're dead for a while.
How do you guys feel about short-haired Shawn Michaels? We've never talked about this.
Dude's looking a little old. He's aging.
But what are you supposed to do? Like, you can't have long hair forever, you know?
He needs like a new, mature, like a grown-up version of Sexy Boy to come out to that reflects his elder statesman-like position within the company.
Dad bod, something like that.
Yes. I think someone in the audience, I want to hear your submissions for a mature version of the Shawn Michaels theme that he can age gracefully with.
The legend, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Michaels with the long hair at the end, it wasn't looking good on him, so this is much better. But
getting used to it.
Yeah, it's not the same Shawn Michaels that we grew up with.
It was weird seeing him wrestle with Triple H in that tag match overseas, or the clips of it I saw at least.
So I'm just looking. Somebody notify me when the Raw Underground shirts on WWE Shop go on clearance, because I'm going to buy them for the whole crew so we can all remember this piece of wrestling history once it's behind us.
Yeah, Baba Tunde.
Daba Kato.
Oh. That's right.
He's good,
but I don't even know if that's it. It's something like that.
I mean, but my issue with it is they cut to Raw Underground, and it's like Shane going around, hey, you want to fight? Hey, you want to fight? Come on, everyone, let's fight. Like, no introduction, hey, this is so-and-so. Oh, we got people betting on this. Who you got in the fight? Who you betting on? This guy, I don't know. I think this guy could beat this guy. Like, he's not building up the performers enough to make us care about these fights. I feel like it's, who's going to win and lose before these start.
Yeah, let's get a couple of super chats real quick. Lester Sanchez with the $1.99 super chat saying wrestling is a joke to 95% of people right now. I don't know if joke is right, but or as 95% of people don't care about it. It's probably more. Justin Lopez saying he checked out early to watch the NBA playoffs. Yeah, that's another thing.
wanted
Raw's got
to.
some. Yeah, what's that?
I wanted to, but because you guys, I can't.
Yeah, you had the Democratic National Convention tonight. You had the NBA playoffs. You had the NHL, I think. So, Raw. I mean, if they don't do the lowest rating ever, I think that's going to be a small win.
Yeah.
So we started with Drew McIntyre tonight, talking about what Randy Orton did to Ric Flair last week. I like that he said he's going to be facing a severely pissed off, fire-breathing Scottish dragon. You think of Sean Connery and Dragonheart. That's who Randy's going to be facing at SummerSlam. And but this was really to set up Retribution. Oh my God, Retribution, cutting the cameras. Screen went to black. They're in the truck with baseball bats, masked men and women attacking and destroying pieces of equipment, bullying the production workers. It was weird that Retribution kind of like started strong, but I felt like nowhere to be seen by the end of the show.
Can I just say I called this last week for the record. I said that what's next? They're going to go inside the TV truck with baseball bats that threaten somebody to sit there with the switch for the light flickering, going back and forth. But seriously, this is, I don't want to say anything. How about this? If you have nothing nice to say, you shouldn't say it at all. So I'm not going to say it at all. How about that?
This could be a quiet hour then.
I'm thinking, though, about this tagline for SummerSlam, you'll never see it coming. I was thinking...
I don't want to see it coming.
Well, I was thinking originally Roman Reigns would be the least predictable choice, but then I was thinking, you can't see me, John Cena. If John Cena is the leader of Retribution, I'm going to turn around on this entire thing.
Oh, yes. I will admit the same thing. Absolutely. I'll be its biggest fan.
Yes.
I would be.
I mean, they need something because this...
So can I tell you what a mark I am on YouTube really quick, Raj? They have like these guys that they load these video games with their characters and they create these storylines within the games. So I've been watching one with heel John Cena. He's got a goatee. He's got like sunglasses. He's the leader of like NWO. Whoever has been doing that should be writing for WWE because I'm watching video game mode heel John Cena with his NWO mates, and it's awesome. Dude, wrestling could be wrestling could be so much better. I don't want to hear that it can't be, and they're trying as hard as they can. I'm watching some guy I've never met in my life do it every week with this series he keeps putting out on YouTube.
Well, it only took 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, but Matt Morgan finally outdorked me on this podcast.
I'm in shock right now.
Wow.
That's something that Glenn should be saying.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of stupid, nerdy shit, but wow, that's something else, Matt.
Can't question my wrestling fandom.
It's true. It's true. So Drew McIntyre was backstage. This was like a replay of what we saw on SmackDown. But
so real quick, Retribution, they took over the backstage trucks, and then they come back from commercial and everything's fine.
Oh, they wanted to make sure their advertisers got to advertise.
Right.
Yeah,
they're smart, Retribution.
Is Retribution just like all of a sudden they're like, all right, we're going to do this show straight. We're going to do it properly. I mean, if they left, the commentators should at least say, okay, Retribution, they fleed, and now we're back under control. Just something as to why they take over the production truck, and all of a sudden everything's okay.
We had to call the military folks to get them out of here. Something,
yeah. We got security back there. Everything's under control. Something.
I agree.
But nope, we went instead to Drew McIntyre backstage, talking to Titus O'Neil, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, the Viking Raiders, Akira Tozawa, Riddick Moss showing up back there. And yeah, everybody's talking about Retribution. But then Seth Rollins comes in, gets in Drew's face. Says that Rollins was the first to teach Drew about being a champion, like he taught Dominic Mysterio how to be a WWE superstar. Ricochet's threatening Seth. This is building up some stuff that's going to happen later in the night.
Which I'm a fan of. Ricochet versus Seth Rollins. I am a fan of. But go ahead.
So the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley, MVP, Shelton Benjamin in the ring, MVP talking about Drew McIntyre. A lot of people talking about everyone tonight. A lot of reactions in addition to the promos. And MVP talking about where is Retribution going to strike next. Now, did he essentially accuse Apollo Crews of being behind Retribution, saying that that's who it's benefited the most thus far, causing MVP that U.S. champion loss? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's good continuity that they're accusing people of being involved with it now.
It definitely is. One other thing I'll point out, the fact that they are talking about other stars as well. Like you say, everyone's talking about Drew or everyone's talking about this person. I like that because it helps that talent get over more by having different people talk about them. Sometimes when guys are very limited in their promo ability, which I'm not saying Drew is, it will help them. Like, you ever hear how everyone talks about AJ Styles? Like when Undertaker is sitting on his WWE Network special talking about how great AJ Styles is. He's made forever. So one of these from other, commenters or wrestlers for some of these other towns, I think is not a terrible idea.
Well, and Cruz was offended of being accused of being behind Retribution and denied it. And of course, that's exactly what the leader of Retribution would say when confronted about it.
Yeah, I just didn't mean in this segment, by the way. You just the one before you were saying. Sorry about that.
No.
A couple more of these super chats real quick before we move on. Peter Bahi with a $2 super chat with hashtag give Mickie James a chance.
Couldn't believe that tonight.
Yep, I didn't like that either. I think she should be working with NXT girls really quick. I think she'd have way more fun. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Alianza Duncan saying, I saw Cornette alluding that HBK faked his back injury. There was a lot of that back in the day where people weren't
fully sold on it.
Right.
But if you saw how he hit that freaking coffin, come on.
Yeah. His leg injury where he had to vacate the title, he said he had a knee injury and he lost his smile. Now that one was BS.
Now that one's BS, yes.
Best in the Smokers world. Has anyone ever brought up the camera crew and how they shake the camera so much the last 6 or 7 years? It was brutal during Raw Underground tonight. This needs to change.
That's fair.
Yeah, and they do tons of camera cuts. It does get annoying. Rafael Cruz saying, you guys are awesome. When it's just you three doing the podcast, I enjoy listening. It's more entertaining than watching Raw. Well, thank you.
Screw you, La Barbarian.
There's a couple more in here. Anthony Y saying something interesting. Dominica seems to always wear black and a black hoodie. Maybe he is part of Retribution. Never see it coming.
That wouldn't work for me,
Yeah, sounds cool.
It's not terrible.
He's not established yet.
Right. It needs to be I still think it needs to be big.
Yeah. Eric Rathwell is saying, Raj, take a shot every time Glenn sighs tonight. I would be on the floor in 20 minutes. And Joe Kerr saying, Matt, live in Polk, Colorado. Can't vote for you, but good luck. A big night.
Polk County. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it.
So, Apollo Crews versus Shelton Benjamin is what this all led up to. And during this match, 24/7 champion R-Truth ran into the ring with the Ninjas right behind him. And then Apollo got the quick pin and the win. After the bell, MVP and Lashley attacked Crews, but then Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander made the save. I feel like they've done this so many times now. The fact that this kept going through tonight was just ridiculous. But then Shelton did drop R-Truth, becoming the new 24/7 champion, and setting up the 6-man tag for later in the night. I mean, doesn't it just feel like it's just the same guys in the same segments in each other's business every week, and nothing changes? It just goes back and forth.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's running in place.
Very strange.
Shelton, he should probably be kept away from that 24/7 title anyway. You're trying to make the Hurt Business this kind of badass group. Get the comedy title out of there.
Yeah, I agree. I would just keep it on him. Just keep it on him. Don't let him do the stupid comedy stuff with it. Give it 6 months of seriousness, if you will. Not the backstage crap, but real in the ring matches, if you will. And it helps Shelton a ton. I just want him on TV. I want Shelton on TV and taken seriously.
I feel like the 24/7 championship has been sort of a low-key success, though. I mean,
it has been overall versus what we thought it would be. Yes. Think about it.
We thought it would be more Raw Underground or one of these things.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Low-key success and how? Just that it's stuck around?
It's stuck around. We're still getting entertainment value out of it. It's showcasing.
We do get some. That what he just said, actually.
I feel like R-Truth, there's only one person has benefited in the last year and a half from it.
Two, Rockstar.
Yeah,
but he's kind of he's quickly relegated back to NXT and kind of doing nothing.
Well, he was fired from the company in kayfabe, and then had
No,
this
not in
rebirth.
kayfabe, but for real.
Well, so they claim.
Glenn
No,
doesn't
he was
believe
for
it.
real. Fired.
Really? That's the whole thing. That thing is still. When we get
Glenn-
done with all this, a year from now, we'll unpack that all and figure it out.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I am interviewing Renee Michelle this Wednesday. Drake Maverick's
Oh,
wife.
how did you get that?
I mean, I know Renee. I was in when I was in Barbados, and I hung out with a lot of those wrestlers one night, and Renee was one of them, and a bunch of others.
There was wrestling in Barbados?
Yeah.
When I was in Barbados, not like you're
Yeah,
having drinks and lighting cigars
That's
with
what-
$100 bills with Bobby Lashley at the country club.
Yeah, this was like late February. This was right before all the COVID stuff started.
So is she a wrestler?
Yeah, she's really good too.
Interesting. That's cool.
Thank you, Tyler, for the super chat.
So Demi Burnett from The Bachelor, third straight appearance in a row.
Why?
What? Yeah, I don't get it. What?
What am I missing?
Is she promoting something? Like, what's? She just happens to. Is she dating one of the guys, and so she just happens to be there? So they put her on camera.
There has to be a connection there because plus
so
they're
random.
it is. Plus they're risking COVID as well, right? They're
Right.
bringing in someone that's not part of their company backstage. We part with them all, right? Like that's not one of their own. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because she's not like a Gronkowski, like a big enough celebrity that you'd want her on week after week.
Why didn't you interview her on Wrestling Inc. Raj and get to the bottom of this?
Yeah, why don't you go to Hawaii and bump
I
into her there?
can't even remember her name.
Yes, Angel Garza was backstage with her. Ivar interrupted. This led to Ivar versus Angel Garza, with Angel Garza picking up the win.
Good for Garza. No more
Sure.
Ivar. No more Vikings, please.
It
It's
just felt like, again, running in place. It just felt like we've seen a variation of this for the last several months.
The Viking Raiders, did I say it right this time?
Yep.
Were in a dumpster one week, shoot fighters the next week. I was supposed to take them seriously. And then, again, a normal match again. There's nothing they can do that will entertain me. No offense to them. It's not their fault. They shouldn't be in this gimmick to begin with.
And to your point, Matt, on the same show, Ivar is getting beat by Angel Garza, and then he's this badass in Lucha Underground.
Might as well.
Lucha Underground seems like just a fond memory now. I mean, they never really got their shit together, but man,
I
WWE.
liked some of their stuff.
Yeah, they did some cool stuff. They did some dumb stuff too, but they did some cool stuff.
The
Yeah.
Vampiro stuff they did, I thought was cool. The
Yeah.
videos. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Tyler Underwood. Sorry.
Tyler
So
Underwood, noting that the lights cut out during RKO and Drew. The hacker takes claim of retribution
at Thunderdome.
At Thunder, they dropped the hacker. That thing is gone.
Which is a shame because it makes sense to this next segment that we saw.
It does.
Where Samoa Joe talking
Joe.
about, I've got the inside word. I got some inside stuff. Zelina Vega was out there with Garza and Andrade and cut to backstage. Sorry.
Really quick, that was real Samoa Joe, by the way. That's
Yeah.
real Joe, what you heard tonight. Like, no acting. That's reacting Samoa Joe. That's how he really is.
Yeah.
Not yelling Samoa Joe from TNA, but smart, witty, cool, and like being sarcastic and that was real Joe right there. I loved seeing that. That was great.
So it was confirmed. It's weird that the big reveal was exactly what we thought it was.
Right. It's the most obvious thing.
Yeah, Zelina poisoned Montez Ford.
Dun dun dun! Never saw it coming.
It is weird. Like, who shot JR wasn't the most obvious suspect. Who shot Mr. Burns? You want like a swerve. You want a surprise. You want a motivation. This was just like, yeah, we told you it was her, and hey, it was her.
Right. It's lazy storytelling. When people are like, wait till you see how it plays out, man. You're not giving it a chance. Wait till you see how it plays out. And you do. That's what you get.
Can't argue that.
Let's talk about Natalya versus Mickie James.
Boo.
Which, good build up for this. The match started off well. Okay, so two things to complain about here, and they're big ones. One, that Mickie ended up on the floor and getting counted out, so Natalya won. So weird that Mickie just came back to have this loss. But then, two, Seth Rollins comes out there and is just nasal whining and ranting to commentary during all of this. I mean, it just seemed very disrespectful placement.
And 3, Mickie didn't even get an entrance. She was she was in the ring like enhancement talent.
Thank you. Hall of Famer there, WWE. You should be using her to the max capacity. I would have her on NXT.
Yeah.
They're not going to use her right on the main roster. Clearly, it's her first match in over a year, and she's just sitting there waiting in the ring, and then gets beaten. This is why, you know, WWE, they have a lot of those veterans that they do that to. Matt Hardy, they did that with the Dudleys the last time they were there. Rob Van Dam, where they just beat them constantly, to where when you beat them, then when they get beat, it doesn't do anything to the person beating them because they just get beat all the time.
The whole reason you have them there is to give that big win to a young talent. So you ex-nay all of that by immediately having the Dudleys waiting in the ring through commercial break.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Mickie should be getting some wins and then eventually put a newer talent over.
Yep, the lady's right. She'd be perfect for it.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And instead, the idea is that Lana was out there shooting a TikTok video of Mickie on the ground after her loss. But yeah, all of this, Raj, just all of it. And Mickie, I mean, a lot of goodwill. She never stopped working social media in the entire time she was gone.
No,
it just seems to have her come back. They build up her coming back. And yeah, it's like between this, Seth, and no entrance. I mean, this was just idiotic tonight.
There were some people speculating that it's because Bruce Pritchard is upset with Nick Aldis, and some comments that
it better not be. It better not be.
Yeah, I hope not.
Screw him if that's the case.
I wouldn't think so, but you know, it is wrestling, and you hear about stuff like that all
I
the
hope
time.
that's not true. Bruce is a better guy than that, I like to think.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, let's get a couple more of these super chats. Or
Yeah.
are we still?
I think.
No, I mean, I could go on and on more. In fact, Seth Rollins talking is probably the most annoying distraction I can think of during a match.
It's up there.
It's pretty bad. 24/7 title chase seems like a pleasant distraction by comparison. But yes, the super chats, Raj.
All right. Real quick, Jonathan Prado, $4.99 super chat saying, "Do we see the Thunderdome being enough to bring in viewers on nights against the NBA head-to-head?" He says, "Thanks, guys. Y'all get me through the work week." Well, thank you.
Oh,
Jonathan.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I'll give you an example. If I didn't have to do the show here, if this wasn't a job to do, right? Like it wasn't a requirement, I would be normally watching the NBA playoffs for sure. But if you were to tell me, hey, WWE's going to be doing Thunderdome, I would click over to see what it's about.
Yeah. And we'll say, and this is one of those cases where, you know, we'll have to wait and see, and I'm going to wait and see. I mean, if it makes it more a lively experience, it feels like the fan. Look, I'm just glad they're out of the Performance Center. The Performance Center is the best.
I'm thinking it's going to be an improvement. I just will lead with that for sure.
I like when they're ambitious. Raw Underground just feels like it was thrown together in an afternoon. But the fact that this is happening, I was saying to Raj before we started the show, it kind of steps on their own pop when they announced this today. Oh, we're going to have this huge experience, lasers, new graphics, new set, virtual fans. Oh yeah, but tonight Raw is the same old. Now we do have to remember Thunderdome was not built in a day, but we are getting there. And I think it just made tonight feel so underwhelming by comparison.
I kind of feel like the first show should have been SummerSlam. So then that way you get that extra added intrigue and anticipation for it, as opposed to doing it for SmackDown.
I think they got to throw Fox a bone.
Yeah. Steve Marchachuli saying Retribution with Reigns, Cena, Orton, Simone Johnson.
Where does Simone Johnson come into that?
She's training at the PC.
That's still pretty random, Steven.
Disco Scotty, this for you, Matt.
Oh,
hey,
wow,
Matt, somebody took your campaign sign from
that.
our front yard and tossed it over the fence in the backyard. Third time your signs were vandalized. I don't think this hooligan is voting for you.
So I'm just going to clown him for a minute. Here's a friend of mine. Legit, has my phone number, could text me this. His wife has already texted me this. Scotty, if you are that thirsty and desperate for attention, you don't have to regurgitate a story that I've already heard from the missus today. And you know I did.
And you have my phone number. $10.
You can call me. You can text me. Stop wasting money for attention. Goodness.
Raj, was that a shot at me? How dare you? I just wanted it to be good. Well, I'm not sure what
I
he
don't
means.
know what do you mean, Antoine? No, don't. Antoine's gonna pay
Yeah.
more money to find the answer.
Amen. And then
Raj don't
finally,
like that.
Z Rivera. And by the way, these super chats fund the podcast. I see very little of it when all is said and done. Z Rivera saying, I'd be pretty mad if my job fired me due to budget cuts, then go all out for a 3-month WrestleMania type spectacle with drones, lasers, pyro, etc. They
Well,
need something, though.
They need something because they're gonna have to keep firing people until they get their ratings back up. How do we know?
Right.
They have so much profit they could literally just pay everybody to watch the show if they want to get the ratings up that bad.
No, I mean, they're trying hard to get the ratings
know.
up, and they can't. And this is, I mean, part of it, I do think part of it is the Performance Center. And I did a thing on Twitter where before the Performance Center, they were averaging like a 0.7 in the 18 to 49 demo, 0.75. Now they're under a 0.5. They're like 0.48. So it's made a difference since they've moved to that building. And the product has sucked too since then, but the building has something to do with it.
Did we get Justin Super Chat about Mickie?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
You mean Peters?
No, Justin had one.
Oh, no.
Oh, you have to read that. Come on, don't let that go away.
Yeah, wait,
Justin
what is
Lopez.
this first?
Well,
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
James Potts.
Glenn, where'd you get the Janet Jackson from?
This is a Kangol Army hat. They sell them on Amazon.
All right. Oh, sorry.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Justin Lopez, $5. Mickie James is a future Hall of Famer. Out a year due to injury. They brought her back tonight without an entrance, like she was a ham and egger.
Damn, Justin, we said that.
I know what. Hey, man.
Poor
people wanna,
Justin.
Well,
yes.
he's right.
What's that backdrop? What's that background noise?
Oh, people are outside. People are outside congregating near me. I better shut the window so no droplets work their way up here.
Attaboy.
I had a sore throat today, and I was just like, I haven't had groceries delivered in 2 weeks. Like how? Like this would be impossible. This is impossible. But you think it. You think it in your head.
You do. Don't let it get in your head, though.
I know. The Golden Role Models, which weird that they're making that a thing. Like, I know it's been a thing, but still, Sasha Banks, Bayley out in the ring, cutting a promo on Asuka. I'm disappointed that Sasha Banks said, Asuka is so stupid, and no one in the crowd yelled back, how stupid is she? And we didn't get that whole routine. But no, instead, they were talking about her facing Bayley and Sasha at SummerSlam. So Shayna Basler's music came out. Shayna Basler came out. Said she's next for the women's title for Raw after SummerSlam. Asuka's music hit. She came out ranting. Said Basler's gonna have to fight with her because she fights. Wait, what? Says tonight she'll fight against both of them, and Basler will have to fight with her before she fights against her. That's what it was. And then Basler and Asuka stormed the ring while the champs retreated to the floor. And then while this match was going, we had Nia Jax make a surprise appearance. So she's supposed to be suspended, but she took Basler out for a little bit in this match. Yeah. But ultimately, Basler and Asuka ended up getting the win with Basler dropping Bayley.
This was good. She submitted her. And this was good to get, you got to be honest, Basler back into something here. Right? She had meaning tonight. She had purpose. She was put in a match with top stars.
Yeah, I just think there's such a distance between Sasha, Bayley, and Asuka, and then Shayna.
There is. Hopefully it heightens. It brings her game up, I hope. Right. Hope she's improves after. Usually you don't notice until afterwards. So let's see if they give her one more match like this, I'd be interested to see what she looks like the third go around.
Yeah.
You know, if they were going to elevate someone, I know we feel like a broken record here, but you know who would be money with Asuka is Bianca Belair.
What makes you say that?
Well, I was just thinking about like the style of it with Asuka. They need someone to play off of her, and for some reason, I was thinking of like Rush Hour, like a female version of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, like having that idea of like a culture divide. You know, I think Bianca would be very, very good. It would be comedic, and we're talking about
tag team.
I thought you meant feuding.
No, as a tag team.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because I think feuding it would actually be good for Bianca because she could just get more experience. Because Asuka's probably the best worker on the show.
And I realize it's not a direct comparison there in terms of origins, but I think Bianca needs to be elevated. Like with Shayna in this situation, Shayna's not going to get a rub out of this.
Yeah.
You know. Also, it seems like a Vince thing he would do because I think Rush Hour is probably the last new movie Vince McMahon has seen.
Probably. Disco Scotty with another message for you, Matt.
Why are you taking? Stop taking this guy's text. I am banning. How about this one? I'm gonna pull a Jim Cornette, or no, an AEW. I am hereby banning Disco Scotty from the super chats.
He said, "Holy crap! Matt Morgan just cut a promo on me. I will cherish this day forever."
Nope, too late, Scotty. Don't try to kiss up now, my friend. You're on the list, my friend.
Justin Lopez asking, "Do you guys think they keep Sasha's streak alive of never having a successful title defense?" That's true. Yeah, I don't think she ever has.
That's not fair either because she's money.
No, every time she'd win the title in the past, they'd have her drop it within like a week or two.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see her losing it to Asuka at SummerSlam. I don't know. I actually think Sasha retains. I actually think Bayley retains. Sasha loses, but I hope I'm right.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have Asuka lose twice. I don't think they're gonna have her beat both. Bayley took the loss tonight.
It feels like they put more with his. Okay, that formula is usually correct. I'll give you that. And it's also, it seems like they put a little bit more into Bayley.
Yeah. With
all the storylines and the TV time and promo time, it feels like Bayley is their 1A to Sasha's 1B.
Yeah. You think so? I think they treat Sasha like a bigger star. Bayley's more like.
No, I think Bayley's getting more of the storyline push, but Sasha comes across like the bigger star.
Yeah, she comes across as she does. But minutes and what?
Yeah. Oh.
Antoine Fair, $10. Thank you so much, Antoine Fair, for a $10 super chat. Yeah, Matt. But she then asks like a wimp.
We're not Shayna.
Yeah.
Can I finish? Yeah, Matt. But she then asks like a wimp at Underground when Nia beats the crap out of her friends, and she just circling her. My friends have a rule: no fair ones. Yes. Me and my friends in high school had the same rule. Most do. You're correct on that.
And then Brandon Hall is saying, "Is it me or didn't WWE just say that the 24/7 title cannot change hands during a match that doesn't involve the title?" I do think they have said that.
Did I miss that?
I think they've said that in the past, but
how could I miss that absurdity? That's absurd, Brandon. You're right.
Consistency and rules are the WWE's strong suit, so I'm really surprised.
Right.
So. After this, we saw that Rey Mysterio was here tonight. We saw Apollo Crews backstage with Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali to set up the six-man tag for later. We saw Shawn Michaels backstage with Drew McIntyre, setting up the last segment of the night, giving him a pep talk. And then when we came back to the ring, we had the Iconics backstage mocking Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, which led to Ruby Riott versus Peyton Royce tonight, and Peyton Royce picking up a win.
Yep, I like this. I like Peyton picking up a win, too. I didn't like seeing them get punked out at the Battle Royal like that the other night. I hated that.
Yeah, I mean, they're trading wins, right? I'm sure Liv Morgan maybe, beats Billie Kay next week.
Yeah, likely. I mean, it gets so predictable after a while. Mm-hmm. They got to do something. They got to do something different right now. Really got to change things up. Predictability. But after this, we had the tease for Raw Underground. And then coming in there, we had Ivar and joining Eric, standing tall after Eric got a win. Dolph Ziggler was at ringside. Then we had Eric and Ziggler fight it out, which was interesting. Ziggler was sent flying off the platform. I mean, these things are so fast. It feels starting to feel like this is alternate continuity based on what we were talking about earlier with Shayna. It's like, have we seen them really address what's happened in Raw Underground in the main programming? I mean, shouldn't the Viking Raiders, since they're getting these wins in the Underground, be taken more seriously in their tag matches? I don't know.
Otherwise, what's the purpose of it, right? I agree.
Yeah.
It should be adding layers and context to each character, and it's not, except for the Hurt Club, I would argue.
The Hurt Business. Hurt
Business.
Club, solid name. Actually, you know what would be cool? You know what would be cool would it be like have somebody have an open challenge, but have a Raw Underground fight where it's whoever wins, like King of the Mountain style. After that gets its U.S. championship shot. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
You know, to have it build.
Something.
Yeah, like have this whole Raw Underground thing be a tournament, kind of like I guess how Brawl for All was, and the eventual winner.
Their initial thought, you know what it was, right? It's to create to have more grit for their characters, to have more toughness to their characters, a side of them that we've never seen before, which makes no sense. We should see that side of them. Guess where? Right. In that 20 by 20 squared circle,
right,
where you're supposed to be fighting each other.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, bro, but this is real.
It just felt like it was a different world tonight with Shayna back there. I mean, with Shayna and Nia, I almost
Dude, Ziggler, you don't know Ziggler. He used to wrestle. He was an amateur.
Oh, wrestler. I know.
No, he looks the best in those.
Dude, no, he wrestled in college. Like seriously, so like he just really kicked that guy's ass. That was real. I'm talking like how Mark's gonna be putting this stupid stuff over with their friend watching it.
I do gotta say Ziggler looks the best out there in this Raw Underground though. Like as far as the look and everything, he comes across like a star out there.
He's intense. He's in great shape. Yeah, everything too. Yeah.
They got to do something with it though. I mean, I could see them having what if they give us a real match like this at a pay-per-view, or did a Raw Underground style match that was like a 5-minute match. Better camera shots, like not these quick cuts.
There's only so much you can do. Like as soon as I pick him up and slam him on the mat, I lose my suspension of disbelief because it's a wrestling mat. You can hear it.
Well, and that's the point too. I mean, look at how these MMA fights end, like with people choked out, cut, bleeding. Like these
Not
all
being
seem to end the
punched in the
same way.
stomach.
Yeah,
like they get punched in the stomach and that's it. Somebody jumps in.
Yeah, it's just not capturing the spirit of a real fight.
But we saw Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir for the first time.
We'll talk about that.
3 of the 4 horsewomen.
That's good use, I would argue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, after this first Raw Underground segment, Rey Mysterio's back out there with Dominic, saying he's going to be in Dominic's corner at SummerSlam. And Rollins and Murphy appeared on the big screen. They came out. Rollins did. We had Dominic and Rey beating him with kendo sticks. Then Murphy came out. Yeah, this is what it is.
Well, Murphy was there earlier. They first,
right.
They first chased Rey and Dominic out of the ring. They got kendo sticks, came in and just beat the crap out of him. Kind of got a little retribution for last week.
Where are you reading these from, Glenn? Are you reading this from the website?
I'm reading the Wrestling Inc. website. And honestly, I watched this. I watched all this tonight with less distractions than I usually have. And I swear to God, reading the play-by-play of what happened, this just seemed like, and this is no disrespect to whoever writes these, it's the series of events, because the back and forth, it just looks like a wall of text, like a jumble.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
There's times we go to segments, I'm like, I just watched this an hour ago. How do I not remember? But that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
it's not. I think that's a problem many people have.
Yeah, I've forgotten half the say. By the time we start talking, I'm like, wait, who was that again? Where were they? Like, it just doesn't stick.
Yes, it's a lot that doesn't.
Yeah,
but like, don't you think they brought Rey back too quick? Why would you not save him for like? I don't know. Maybe this was it. This was the go home show. Maybe that's why.
I guess. I think it would have been cool to have him just be a surprise at SummerSlam.
Sure. Yeah. And Rollins questioning what kind of parent Rey was.
Well,
can
we argue that point though? I mean, seriously, his kid's in the middle of a wrestler, great with professional wrestlers.
Okay, the dad has his eye out. The son is like beaten to shreds with a kendo stick. He's got a point.
Yes. On national television.
Right.
The mental scarring of that young boy.
Right.
MVP giving Cedric Alexander a talking to backstage about stirring the pot.
I popped for that, actually.
Yeah. Then Arturo Ruiz and Riddick Moss backstage at the Raw Underground. Oh, this one tumbled to the floor. Though I felt a lot of this stuff tonight. I liked what was it? Dolph got thrown in the crowd. And they had the guys gambling. Let's give props to that. Guys were gambling tonight. We saw dollar bills and people betting on fights. We talked for 2 weeks how we wanted to see that. They finally did that tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, the 6-man elimination match. I swear to God, this was the point where my brain turned to mush. The Hurt Business versus Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali pissed somebody off there because, I mean, he was beaten in like 3 minutes like he was nothing.
So I like the 2 of the 3 except for him. I was gonna say.
Really?
I didn't like him being in this match. I don't know why. I don't like him.
I think he has a cool story if they allow it. I mean, anytime he starts to gain some traction, they do what they've been doing to him the last few weeks. Keep him off TV, then beat him, then put him on main event.
Right.
I'd like to see him get either keep him sustained, doing something and try it out, or I don't know.
Yeah.
And that goes with a lot of talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the big takeaway in the build-up to the match between MVP and Apollo at SummerSlam, the Hurt Business won tonight, but their MVP will not have Lashley or Benjamin at ringside, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
That was if Apollo won his match earlier against Shelton.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
this, they took out Ali and Alexander pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
They were the first 2 out, so it was 3-1. Then Apollo beat MVP and Benjamin. And then somewhere in here, was there a 24/7 title change during this match?
Oh, yes, there was. Shelton Benjamin got rolled up at ringside by Cedric Alexander, who won the 24/7 title.
And then Lashley beat Apollo. So I'm guessing that's where they go next, is Lashley and Apollo.
So Shane McMahon backstage talking to Shayna Basler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir. More on that in a minute. But then we had a proper 24/7 title match, Akira Tozawa versus Shelton Benjamin with Cedric Alexander. Oh, wait, was that where Cedric Alexander? Why was it listed as that? Oh, no, pardon me. It was Akira Tozawa. The recap had it wrong. It was Akira Tozawa versus Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander retained here.
Yay.
I know. So, Dolph Ziggler versus Ivar. Okay, this was the big match.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke watching while Shafir is attacking enhancement talent and brawling. One of the women that we saw in Retribution recognized her hair, was I believe that competitor. And Shafir stood tall after, but then Nia Jax dropped her from behind. Jax then dropped Duke. Then Baszler hit the platform with words for Jax, and Nia hightailed it out of there. And that was it for Raw Underground this week.
Yeah. Nightmare Knee saying, Shayna looked menacing to me, but I just wish they'd give her a mouthpiece like Paige or somebody. That could help. With Raw Underground, did we say how Ziggler beat Eric?
Yes.
Okay. And then afterwards, Ivar came in, knocked him into the crowd. So they actually announced a Raw Underground fight for next week. So it's going to be Ivar and Dolph Ziggler.
Ivar and Dolph.
You know, Raj, the Wrestling Inc. recap does not have the results of these Raw Underground matches bolded out.
Not bolded out, right? But they're in there.
They're in there.
Yeah.
We got Z Rivera for $5 super chat. Thanks, Z Rivera. Saying Aleister Black returns as Retribution leader. I pray that doesn't happen. Could we see Retribution versus Team WWE at Survivor Series to end the storyline? How about this? Could we see it tomorrow so it can come and go already and we can get rid of the stupid thing already? Unless it's a huge leader. Then I take everything back bad I said about it.
And if it's a huge leader, then it shouldn't end by Survivor Series. They should just keep it.
Yes.
Going.
Yes. I want John Cena, though. Can't believe I'm saying that, but that would be
amazing. Cena's probably my number one.
He's too big of a star for this goofy angle.
I'd settle for Sami Zayn.
I'll take Sami Zayn too.
Sami, Daniel Bryan, Rusev. You know,
I like Bryan and Sami Zayn for sure.
Yeah. Andrade versus Montez Ford. Ford.
This was really good match, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, and Bianca Belair. So it's kind of short, but Bianca Belair coming out there, Vega jumping off the apron, Bianca catching her crossbody, slamming her to the floor. Are they having a match at SummerSlam?
Bianca and Zelina? They haven't announced one yet.
Huh.
And it's Monday. They could late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a 6-person
they always have
tag.
kickoff matches that they announce later in the week. So.
Yep.
Montez Ford got the win. Yeah, I think a 6-person mixed tag would be a good.
And this was good. Some people get annoyed when a good match and good matchup like that gets interrupted. With another storyline. I usually get annoyed. I didn't on this one because I'm into that storyline. Even though everyone knew what was going to happen, that she was going to poison her, it was going to be Vega that did it. I think I do like the crossover of it.
Yeah.
So then, Street Profits and Belair regrouping.
And by the way, it is the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza at SummerSlam for the titles.
Oh, there you go. So, Hall of Famer came out there and, was addressing Randy Orton, talking about all the greats wouldn't exist without Ric Flair and chastising Orton for what he did to him. And of course, Orton came out, attacked him from behind, dropped him with an RK out of nowhere. And then did the punt kick. McIntyre rushed to the ring, but Orton retreated, and McIntyre was checking on Shawn. Orton ran back in, hit Drew with the RKO, and Drew and Orton were staring each other down as the final Raw before SummerSlam went off the air.
Much weaker than the Ric Flair angle.
Yeah, it was.
They had it felt like they had 5 minutes. Like they really rushed through it. Again, Shawn getting up after the punt. He might as well just nipped up. He did a kick up right after he got punted. This one just didn't hit home like last week.
I mean, it serves its purpose for B-roll, right? In the upcoming pay-per-view when it shows the story of Randy Orton and what he's done. That's really what it's for.
Yeah, I just thought last week was a lot more powerful, I guess.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. But the bright side is there'll be good B-roll footage when they continue to build Randy as this big jerk.
Yeah.
Nate Erickson, $5 super chat. We all knew HBK's fate. If it escalates to a punt to Triple H, though, that'd be another level. Do you think they would? And happy birthday, Macy, his little one. Thanks for the super chat.
Happy birthday, Macy.
Happy birthday, Macy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, Triple H. When's the last time Triple H was it? The salute, the roast was the last time Triple H was on WWE.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying though. If it escalates to a punt to Triple H though.
Yeah, like if Randy Orton punted Triple H, would that take it to the next level? Well, SummerSlam's next week. I mean, this Sunday, so they don't have another Raw. I mean, I guess Payback could very well be a rematch between Orton and McIntyre, but I don't know.
He's already the legend killer. Anyway.
Here's what I'm over. Randy does something, and this is the same thing that happened with the Edge thing. And then we have to have 5 people come out and react to what Randy did to the person before them, to the person before them, to the person before them. I feel like this is like a replay of what we saw happen in the build to WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Travis Huffman, $2. Retribution leader is the spider from Rowan's cage.
Might as well be.
So that was Raw tonight. An episode that strangely felt like a repeat, even though it was all new footage. Well, except for the vast amounts of replays that we had throughout the night.
So here's high hopes to WWE Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Brooklyn Born with a $5 super chat asking the question on everybody's mind. Do you guys think Arsenio Hall should be in the WWE Hall of Fame? He had tons of wrestlers on the show and let them stay in character. Best one was with Rick Rude.
No, we can. There's Cyndi Lauper's not even in yet, right?
Cindy first. Cindy's the overdue one.
So you got to get the people that have actually appeared in WWE programming or wrestling programming and helped do their thing, not wrestlers appearing on their shows. Because you can also make the argument for Conan and other talk show hosts as well. Although I personally did like Arsenio, but they were not.
Loved Arsenio.
They weren't shoot though when they came on there. They were still in their characters.
Right. I was
like
Macho Man.
Akeem. What about Akeem the African Dream? He was on.
Right.
And
before Warrior like tossed over the couch.
Yes.
And
Bad News Brown's one of the funniest ones. Watch that one.
And while we're at it, CNC Music Factory should write him a check for ripping off Things That Make You Go from the Arsenio Hall show. No CNC Music Factory pop.
Are you sure he didn't do that after them?
No, that was first. He did things that make you go,
sure?
It was like that and the Dog Pound. Like those were the two big features of the show. Yes.
Yeah.
And the name for the people over behind the band all the time.
Yeah. But to his point, yeah, I agree with you, Matt. Since he's never been on WWE programming itself, I don't think he should be. Like Regis, you can make a case for because he has.
True.
He hosted Mania,
Yeah.
Euchre's him,
Yeah.
Savan Vavar, $10. With WWE going to the Amway Center and them not having to break down the set anymore for Raw and SmackDown, does Retribution go after the hot dog machines at the Amway Center now?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Might as well, yeah. So yeah, I guess you guys have heard with the Thunderdome, they're gonna have pyrotechnics, drone cameras, video boards. They're gonna make it look like there's virtual fans, like the NBA is doing right now. So
they're gonna have pyro.
Fans, yeah, they're gonna have pyro. They're in an arena now. So
I've hated wrestling without pyro. I'm so excited about that.
I prefer pyro over LED boards.
It's true. I love fighting and I love explosions. So really, it's the perfect.
Makes the person feel like a bigger star.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious. I won't be able to watch this Friday, but I'm going to watch it as soon as I can.
Okay, Matt Morgan has a heart out because it's midnight.
Not?
He's about to turn into a pumpkin.
I am.
Matt, if you want to hop off, Raj and I'll wrap this up, take it home, and do the news.
Good night, guys. Thank you all.
All right, good luck tomorrow, Matt.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, Matt. So, look at that.
Yeah,
Raj
nifty.
just prepared for everything.
Nifty.
Justin Lopez, $5. So I guess Vince finally watched Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 2 men in, 1 man out. I thought that was trademarked. No one has, there's trademarks on Thunderdome are surprisingly few, and most of them have to do with golf.
Oh, interesting.
I searched during the show.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yes.
All right. A couple other items here. The AEW Women's Tag Team Cup Tournament resumed tonight to go on to the finals. And if you thought that Brandy Rhodes wasn't going to be in it, you would be wrong. So Brandy Rhodes and Allie against Ivelisse and Diamante.
I wonder who's winning.
That will take place on this Saturday's edition of Dynamite. So, yeah. Unless they pull a big shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the world of wrestling, Raj?
So you heard about Sonya Deville, right?
Oh my God. And here's the crazy, tell the story, but let me just say, here's the craziest element of it, aside from the actual story and what happened. And thank God Sonya's okay. And they caught the guy. But I've seen this picked up by more media outlets than any wrestling related story in recent memory.
Oh yeah, it's on CNN. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sonya Deville, a South Carolina man who was obsessed with Sonya Deville, drove to Florida and went to her house. And so he had been kind of stalking her on social media for years. Anyway, he went to her house on Sunday and was watching while she was inside. Tore a little opening in one of the screens. And then finally, after she went to bed at 2:45 a.m., he went through the back sliding glass door, and it activated the home alarm, which prompted Deville to go look out the window. She saw him on her property, and she quickly left the home with the guest and called 911. When they arrived, they found that the man had a knife, plastic zip ties, duct tape, and mace. And they said that after he was arrested, he admitted that he planned to take Sonya Deville hostage. So he's in jail right now. He's charged with aggravated stalking, armed burglary, attempted armed kidnapping, and criminal mischief. And so he's in jail with no bond. And man, Jesus Christ! She's so lucky that she had her alarm off that night. Sometimes
absolutely.
People get lazy and turn it off. I do. We do it sometimes where we forget. So, yeah. Really
I'm glad she's okay,
story.
and I'm glad they got the guy. This sounds like this could have gone so much worse. I'm so glad she's okay. I think the guy's in custody.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, yeah. And then finally, former ROH champion Xavier passed away.
Oh, that's right.
And so, yeah, he passed away. He had last wrestled in ROH in 2007. And he was actually scheduled to make his return this past March to wrestle Jay Lethal at ROH Past versus Present. He had defeated Low Ki on September 21st, 2002 to become the second ever ROH World Champion. He was only 42 when he passed away. So our condolences to Xavier's family, friends, and fans.
Absolutely. Very, very sad. So, do we have anything else to go over? I feel like we should try and bring this back up a little bit, Raj.
Yeah, why don't we pick something on a more positive note? Anyone in the chat room, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to send them over.
Yes. Make me smiles, chat room. Give me something here just to pick things up a little bit. Could talk quickly about the SummerSlam card. So we're going to be here Sunday night. Is it going to be me, you, and Matt?
You'll be you, Matt, and Justin, and I'll be here the night before with Matt and possibly a surprise.
Oh, that's right. Do we want to tell people there's a surprise on Wednesday this week?
Yeah, on Wednesday, Sam Adonis will be joining Justin and Matt for the post NXT. AEW this week will be on Saturday, so yeah, it'll be Sam Adonis. A lot of you know him as Corey Graves' brother, independent wrestler. He's done some wild gimmicks in Mexico. So he will be
I've seen him wrestle.
Yeah.
It's very good. So yeah, I decided, just so everyone knows, I decided to just step back from Wednesdays. I felt like watching two shows at once and then covering it. For me, it just wasn't as much fun. I like these looser Monday and Friday shows when we can riff, when we can hang out more. And Wednesday is just so much serious wrestling talk. I thought, a change might be good for Wednesday nights.
Yeah. Keith Robinson's asking, is SmackDown live on Friday? Because with these virtual fans, who knows what someone may flash unless they are all actors. It is live, yes.
Oh, there you go. Get those Wrestling Inc. shirts for your virtual fan experience.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, Raw and SmackDown are going to be live for the foreseeable future. So,
wow. So the SummerSlam card, Street Profits defending the Raw Tag Team Championship against Andrade and Angel Garza. You got a prediction on this, Raj?
I'd say the Street Profits.
And Drew McIntyre defending against Randy Orton.
Drew McIntyre.
Apollo against MVP for the U.S. Championship.
Apollo.
Wow. Okay. Champs are going to retain. Dominic versus Seth Rollins in a street fight.
Say Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's too charmed of a life for Dominic Mysterio. His first match is at a WWE pay-per-view, and he wins. Sasha Banks defending the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka.
I'm going to go with Asuka on that one.
Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka.
Bayley.
Okay. Braun Strowman defending the WWE Universal Championship against The Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
I'm going to go with The Fiend. I'm going to get a title change there.
And Mandy Rose defending her hair against Sonya Deville's.
And I think Mandy Rose.
I think that is a safe bet. So let's see. We had
a couple more of these super chats real quick. Colt Cone saying, Raj, do you find any truth to the rumor that most WWE stars have reached out to AEW? Like Meltzer said, I think a lot, for sure, a lot of them not like they're seriously trying to leave, but trying to just see what kind of money they'd make on the other side. So just kind of a curiosity. Dustin Eck with the $2 super chat asking, so is SmackDown TV 14 now? It was last week. I don't know if we'll see if it holds, but yeah, last week it was. Tonight's Raw was TV PG. My channel, that's the wrong one.
Wrestling enthusiast, Buck99, ever taken breaks from watching wrestling? I have, but they're usually for like 10 years at a time.
I did when me and my family went to India this past winter. I took it was like a week and a half almost 2 weeks without watching wrestling.
But that's part of it, though, is that you can definitely, the programs the way they're set up now, you can miss probably from pay-per-view to pay-per-view and not be lost on anything.
Yeah, there's not much different on this pay-per-view most of these storylines have been going on for months.
I mean, and this is not WWE's fault, obviously, with COVID and everything, but man, like SummerSlam and WrestleMania in particular, I mean, SummerSlam, hopefully the new set helps, but WrestleMania really did not feel like WrestleMania. Those cinematic matches were probably the high point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many people have gone back and like WrestleManias in the past, you'd go back and watch certain matches, several times and certain moments. But I think for this last WrestleMania, it's just the cinematic matches.
It's funny. Cody Hewlin asking, do you notice the camera guys exposing the business, catching the guys calling spots? I haven't noticed that as much lately. I feel like maybe, just the way they're shooting it, or maybe, they haven't been, was tonight live or was tonight taped earlier today?
I think it was taped earlier today.
Yeah. So when they're back to live again, I think we'll pick up more of that.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. I mean, this has been the roughest era of wrestling ever.
Yeah.
And WWE wasn't like they were peak performance back in February.
They were doing better though. I mean,
Sure.
they had some bright spots. The Drew Brock stuff was actually pretty good then. Edge and Orton, but they just didn't know how to adapt to this, empty arena setting, and they just never did.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. Wednesday night, I will not be here. It will be a new era of the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm back Friday with Justin and Matt. And then are you guys doing a Saturday show this week?
Yeah, so we'll be doing a Saturday show after TakeOver and Sunday. So, geez, it's a busy week coming up. Four more shows coming up ahead. And then Monday, so Raw right the night after. 3 straight nights.
It never ends, Raj. It never ends.
Never ends.
Everybody have a good night. We'll catch you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.